On a late September weekend, we spent 2 days backpacking and exploring the slot canyons, streams, sparkling pools, and waterfalls of Claw Creek and Malamute Valley in Getty Wildland Provincial Park. Our original objective had been an ascent of the remote and obscure Astral Peak, which is accessed via a slow approach up, around, and through the watery obstacles of Claw Creek. However, we were not quick enough to outrun the sun, so we had to turn back early. To access this area, we drove up the Ghost River to marker number 39. The road is always a little rough in spots, but easy to follow and super fun to drive. The water levels are low enough in late summer to present no difficulties. Between December 1st and March 31st, on-highway vehicles are permitted beyond marker number 39, which significantly shaves off the approach time to Claw Creek. However, this being September, we are obligated to park here and continue on foot. Between marker 39 and the confluence with Claw Creek, there were at least a half a dozen stream crossings over roughly 6 kilometers. We came prepared with water shoes and dry footwear to change into at camp. Along the way, we passed entrances to many side canyons, including Valley of the Birds, Devil's Head Valley, Valley of the Sun, and the canyon that has the Beowulf icefall in it. I'm not sure if that canyon actually has a name, so I just always call it Beowulf. These canyons are all spectacularly beautiful, particularly in the winter when their walls are encrusted with ice falls. Where Claw Creek comes in from the north, we entered the creek bed and headed up valley for another 2.5 kilometers. At first, the going was made easier by following a little island filled with widowmakers from the devastating wildfire that ripped through here exactly 1 year ago. But eventually, the easy terrain runs out, so we are forced back onto the riverbed rocks. Where Malamute Valley meets Claw Creek, we made a camp on another little island with a thin forest providing some shelter from the wind. After setting up camp, we continued northwest up Claw Creek towards Astral Peak. Very quickly, the terrain became vastly more interesting. The canyon gradually narrowed, presenting an endless series of sparkling turquoise pools, water slides, and waterfalls as obstacles for our enjoyment. The first waterfall was easily circumvented on the right. Subsequent waterfalls, however, had large overhangs on either side, forcing us to double back on our tracks to find ways up, around, through dense forest and prickly shrubs, over and under deadfall, and up or down scree. I thought this pool was particularly pretty. Our last waterfall was the tallest, but it actually had a pretty easy little scramble path around on the left-hand side. Once we arrived at the fork where the Astral Peak route on the left meets the Castle Rock route on the right, we decided to turn back. We were still many hours from attaining a summit, and we didn't want to be returning down the waterfall hazards in the dark. This is a panel from the hill above our camp, looking up Claw Creek, along Poltergeist Peak, then down Claw Creek towards the Ghost River, and then on the left is Malamute Valley. The next morning, we explored to the end of Malamute Valley. I had only been there in the winter before, and I wanted to see how different it looked in the summer. Although breathtaking in summer, I think I actually prefer it in winter when all these pools are an ice walk as smooth as glass, and the canyon walls bear at least 9 ice falls. They have fun names like Muzzle Melody, Husky Howl, and my personal favorite, the 400-meter tall Fang and Fist, which I believe has 5 pitches. This one is the Chilkoot Passage. I normally spend part of my spring in Utah exploring slot canyons, but the last few years I have not been able to travel, of course, so I really enjoyed splashing up the icy waters of the Malamute Valley, where I can pretend I am in a Utah slot canyon if I squint and think warm thoughts. Ghost country is hauntingly beautiful. It is rugged, it is remote, and it is full of really unique terrain. Sheer rock walls, buttresses, deep canyons, waterfalls, pools, and an absence of crowds makes this my absolute favorite place to spend the off-season.